Quick disclaimer, this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing here should be considered financial advice. Always do your own research and understand the risks before investing.
Welcome back everyone to another Bitcoin update. So quickly getting started, pretty much we have seen a bit of a sell-off for this shorter time frame. Last couple of weeks we have just been in this sideways up and down trend. There hasn't really been no clear direction whether we are going higher or lower, so at the moment it's just kind of ranging from the top and the bottom as well. So with recent structure that we've seen in the price, we are just kind of left to believe with basically just a few limited scenarios that could be playing out. So our first one is this white ABC to the upside, and this A, B, and then this C wave here, where all this could be a wave, then we could get a B wave corrective move, and then a C wave up before we can get a larger degree correction like we've been talking about in some of our older videos that we were looking to see. In this orange scenario, all of this is just a larger degree, A, B, C, sorry, that was too far, a larger A, B, C, and a corrective fourth wave, and now we could be forming a 1-2 setup to the downside where we get a third and a fourth and a fifth to the downside for one more low. Now our support and resistance for each scenario would be for this white wave to be played out is we would ideally like to see a bounce within this region in which we are currently at, and we can always go a little bit further, but what will really tell us what kind of trend or scenario could be playing out is really just the type of bounce we will get. So if we just have a direct sell-off to this larger support zone, we could always just be resetting this B wave, which could have been formed over here, and it could have just been going further over here. So all this could have just been an A wave and then just a more complex B wave, and then we could try again for that C wave. Otherwise, if we start to rally from here, but it's more of a corrective choppy three-wave move and we get rejected, well, it's totally possible we could either be in that B wave or we could be in that third wave for the orange wave, where we get our first wave down, a second wave for a 1-2 setup to the downside, a third wave, fourth wave, and then a fifth wave for one more low. If we break below this support region and this final low at 60,000, then we can add a support zone for this fifth wave to the downside. And obviously our first indication for this orange fifth wave to the downside to be playing out would obviously be a rejection first, seeing how this rally would be if it's more choppy and we get a rejection. That could be our first indicator. If we break below this B wave, that could be our second indicator. And then depending on how this next rally is, if it's another choppy three-wave move and we get rejected from a resistance zone and we break below the support and this swing low at 60,000, well, then that would be our final indication that this orange fifth wave could be playing out as well. Now for this white wave, is ideally what we would want to see is a break above resistance and a break above these swing highs. Our first one is at 70, or this should be a little bit like that. Our last swing high would be around 71,500 for our second indication, and our last indication would obviously be a break above this 74,000 that we could possibly be in that C wave to the upside, where all of this could just be a 1, 2, 3, and then a 1, 2, 3 wave corrective move. Even though it is a large sell-off, it still is a 3-wave move to the downside, and then we could start forming those 5 waves up for that C wave as well, with a break above resistance and through these swing highs as well. Now if we come down here and we get rejected from our resistance zone between 68,000 to 70,226, and we get rejected and we enter this support region, we could still just be extending this B wave, and then we could form some sort of another test to the upside for that C wave as well. That's totally possible. And even in this fourth wave, it could be possible if we are just oversold, we could just get a somewhat of a rally or maybe even a corrective bounce that could even retest these highs up here and we could still get rejected. That's totally possible as well. Now that's kind of it for the technical part. Now something I wanted to show is something similar of why I brought that up in the last part. If we could just retest some of those highs and go lower because of this exact scenario that happened back here in 2022. We talked about this in a last video, but essentially we could be in something similar like this. Bitcoin kind of had that large wick down and a relief rally afterwards of about 18%. We had about a 20% or so more or less rally from that February low where we bounced up, and then we kind of had this choppy movement like we are having right now. Then we had a what could be a bull fake out, or what back here was a bull fake out, and then we had a retest of that level before we ultimately ended up lower. So that's kind of why I wanted to show this back here, because we could just be doing something similar to what we did there. What if we, from here, maybe we test this support zone again, and then we form a corrective three-wave move, maybe even break above this, still get rejected, and head lower in that orange fifth wave. I mean, that's totally possible to happen as well, because all of this would just be a B, C, a three-wave corrective move, and we could still head lower. So if we do see a strong rally, it would be worth noting that we could just be forming something similar to that. Obviously, it's not guaranteed, just speculation, but it's just interesting on the chart to see how things line up, that before that move happened, they also had a similar move to the in the March of 2022, similar to what we had back here for November through January, and then we had that large sell-off. Then we had that incline or that relief rally from that oversold wick like we did back here of, oh, look at that, around the same thing of 18%. And what happened afterwards was choppy movement. Then we had a rally, which ended up, or could be, a bull fake out. Then we could retest those highs again, maybe even go higher and still get rejected. That is something similar that could be playing out. Now, obviously, it's not guaranteed. It's just speculation, but it's just pretty interesting to see how similar that could be lining up with last cycle. Now, once we form, or if we do get another all-time, or sorry, not an all-time, a new high, we'll add B-wave support. If we hold support, then that whole theory I just came up with, or speculation, would be immediately invalidated with a break above that C wave. But if we break below that B wave, well, then we just formed something very similar to last cycle. So that's something to watch out for and could always be playing out, but obviously none of it is guaranteed. So yeah, that's pretty much everything for this video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.